Hi guys, it's Tina with the Vision of Vintage Co. Um, if you've been here a while on my channel, you know that I like odd and weird antiques and vintage, and it's really hard to find. So, I've got a collection of my own, and a lot of you expressed interest in seeing my collection. It's an ever-changing work. I'm always adding or subtracting pieces. And I do have a couple cabinets that I keep my goodies in, so I'm going to show you the one that I think is probably going to be the most interesting to you at this point. And if anybody has any questions, just put them in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And as always, please like and subscribe. I appreciate that. And give me a thumbs up. So here we go, guys. Okay, well, let's not make this video 5 hours long, which I have a tendency to do. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. And like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. But we'll start with the top here. I'm not finished with everything yet. I'm still redecorating this room, but I've got a bunch of different things. I don't know if this kitty cat held a lighter or possibly a pincushion, but it's being used as a planner. There's an old glass globe with a bunch of different seashells, and just a base probably from a lamp or something like that. I fell in love with this old book back here. I don't know how well you're going to see it. I need to display it better, but I just love the graphics on the front of it. I just think it's really neat. And we have a nice large silver bowl with my man Charlie, and he's holding my turtles. I have 4 different types of turtles that are mounted in a box. And then I have this funeral coach, which went on the top of a hearse. We have one of my butterflies that I mounted, and an old clown ring toss game in the back there. There's Mr. Bunny, also a planter. And I love the whole top hat and mustache. You know, that whole old-time Victorian gentleman look. I really enjoy that with the monocle. That right there, you're getting my light. But that's from an orb weaver. That's a web. And I need to get me an actual orb weaver spider to sit next to my web here, so it kind of goes together. This is just well, I don't know how well you're seeing it, but these are just a couple little butterflies that I put in a little glass cloche with the cork. And we have an old bank globe, and here is snake skin that my son found that I put in a fancy little jar to show it off. Okay, we have a massive cabinet here, and there's oodlings of stuff. I got a few things over here off to the side that you might be interested in. That is actually for sale in the shop, but I like it so much I just got it propped up against there, that old movie reel, just to enjoy it until it sells. And then we have an old funeral sign, no parking, and some Spencer's spectacles. And my top hat, which I need to get something else to put it on. I don't know what yet. And I got some old umbrellas and stuff, but this is another thing that I have to work on yet. I've got something to put it on, this old French grave marker, but I haven't quite managed to have the time to assemble it yet, so it's kind of sitting there right now. But let's go into the cabinet. Okay. There's just so much. It's overcrowded, actually. We have, I guess it's a grasshopper in acrylic. One of my viewers sent me. Thank you very much. I love him. We have a wet specimen starfish. And if you look to the left there, there's a bat. My kitty cat left that for me on my on my front porch, so it turned into a wet specimen. And we have one of my cute Victorian photos with a little taxidermy mouse head, and it's got a lot nice cute little rose on his hair. And starfish. Who doesn't like Edgar Allan Poe? One of the articulated hands that I had kind of did a little bit with it. I've got the cicada, and then another cicada coming off of it. I don't know what you call it. Just one of my weird creations. And a large moth. There's Mr. Peeps right here. Dolls, 31 for Halloween. I love Halloween. And some of it's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to kind of pan around. That guy right there is actually for sale in my shop. He's, I'm keeping him in here for safekeeping. It's one of those deep sea isopods. See his little legs? Kind of creepy. And we have goat horns and skulls and porcupine quills. And these are actually old ribbons from like chicken or poultry. What do we have here? Eastern Poultry Association Incorporated. So yeah. And the kitty cat skull. And then there's a little pennant. You can't tell, but that little tiny cloche right there's got a seahorse in it. Okay, moving down to the next. And this is mainly medical. Yep, the random foot. It broke off of an old doll. And there you go. Something I would do. And I thought this bottle was awesome. Worm syrup. And it's still got a lot of the contents in it. That is a really old prescription. It's written in, like a dip pen, like a quill pen. And there's another one of my little gals here. I am trying to do this properly. And we have some teeths. There's a really old ribbon. I paid way too much for it, but I'm not even going to divulge how much I paid for it. But it's from 1902, and it's just gorgeous. Okay, guys, down to the next level. This is kind of a theme too, I guess. Gentlemen, and just little tidbits that I like for one reason or another. Those are actually salt and pepper shakers. You know, Mr. Charlie, he needs his head turned around. He's doing The Exorcist. There we go. What's actually interesting is that piece back there that says head was actually like a card that would have went on a coffin when a body was transported on a train. You know, and the information of the deceased would have been on the card. And we have more stuff to do with, of course, top hats and that. Well, this is off of a, you know, it's an old funeral plaque, Our Darling. There's a couple little tiny Shakespeare books. And that postcard in the back, actually, it squeaks. If you squeeze it, it squeaks. And I love these old cork top medicine bottles. I just think they're awesome. This hand is holding actually an old keychain that somebody had years ago. There's an old portrait in there, a rabbit's foot, which I think is really neat. And that's just got a bunch of, you know, little watch vials with little watch parts in it. Okay. Down here is the fun. The fun part. I just thought he was kind of creepy. It's just one of those deals where, you know, I left it as is. I didn't change it. You can actually change out the picture in that. But that kind of, you know, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I put him on the bottom so when you look in there, you have him staring back at you. There's a bunch of little old tidbits, old games and stuff. I'm trying not to shake the camera too much. That's a paper mache clown. And a bunch of little babies in a cup. We have an old clown bank in the back and one of those old clappers. Valentine. This guy, I love his face. He's one of those ones where you squeeze the belly and his tongue sticks out. And look at that face. That's an old embalming fluid bottle, never used, new old stock. And an eyeball that I painted. And some old medicine bottles, some more. The DC Co. and the ice and all that, those bottles back in there, those are all old new stock also, but they still have all the contents in them. You know, the embalming fluid is still intact. And believe it or not, that picture right there is somebody painted that on the glass. And the glass has actually got a crack in it, but I thought it was gorgeous, and I got it for like a couple bucks. What's this? Oh yeah, this is a mortuary makeup, and the color is called Light Flesh. It's a dense covering cosmetic for morticians to use. So there's just a little bit of this and that. And I'll have to show you on the outside here some of the stuff that I couldn't get that's over in the corner. This is an old noisemaker. And he's actually got a pretty cool face on the other side, but it's broke on that side. you get a better look at this stuff here on the side. It's kind of a curved cabinet, I guess. It's got that rounded glass to it. And we'll go up. There's the hand. I'm sorry about the glare, guys. Well, and then we have just a little microscope there with some slides. And I think that other is x-rays of teeth, maybe. And that's another little x-ray. You can't tell, but when the light shines in here just right, you can see it. It's like a skull. Okay, let's go in the other corner over here so you can maybe see that actually a little bit better. Well, I'm having a hard time here, guys. Here's the bird skull. And the baby. There's a picture in there, but you can't see it very well. It's towards the back. It's a mother hiding photo. The baby's all the way at the top of the portrait, and then the mother's is all the rest of it, hiding under the dress. And you can see these bottles a little bit better. Old apothecary bottles. And little baby in an eye wash cup. That's an old stethoscope. It's got the bell-shaped end to it. And you can see my little mousey a little bit better. It's a little clown mouse. And some more old postcard and Valentine. And this guy, he's got a heart-shaped head. Oh, let's go down here. There you can see the embalming fluid bottles better. But that's it, guys. That's my one cabinet. It's, you know, it's a cluster of this and that. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just anything that I find particularly interesting. And that's where it goes. And, you know, it's kind of over. Kinda. It is overcrowded, but gosh. When you're a collector, you know, it's so hard to pass something up when, you know, it's like, will I ever see that again? Will I ever run across it again? So I just have the tendency to just grab it, and if it's something that I can't use, then I list it in my shop on Etsy, and you all get a chance to get something fun for your collection. So if you guys have any suggestions for future videos, give me a holler in the comment section. But hope you're having a fabulous weekend, and until next time, guys, see you later.